Madison, first of all, obviously start of every season we come down under. What are your thoughts on starting the year in Australia each year, and what do you like about it?
I've always loved playing in Australia. Typically, I've always done really well here, and I think I like the people and the weather and the courts. It's just really kind of the perfect circumstances for me. So the fact that this is where we get to start the year every year is, in my opinion, fantastic.
It's quite a unique place, isn't it? What's one of the things you most look forward to doing when you come down to Australia?
I always think Australia has some of the best food and coffee, and honestly, some of the best fans. Over the years, I think I've started to have more and more fans that are, they're supporting me all the time. So being able to go back to the same cities every year and get to go back to some of my favorite restaurants and coffee shops and see some of the same people in the crowd is always really special.
How would you describe yourself as a player and the way you approach the game?
I would say that I am probably a big hitter who tries to finish points pretty quickly, take control with my forehand, and I think I'm probably trying to approach every point with trying to get ahead in the point as quickly as I can and try to stay as close to the baseline as possible.
What has become your biggest strength over the years, would you say?
I would say I think my forehand has always been my biggest strength, and it's carried me through a lot of matches. So that's something that I'm always working on and trying to improve every day.
What is it about the sport of tennis and traveling the world that you love so much?
I honestly have a really hard time being in one place now after all of the years of traveling. I really love seeing new places and trying new things and meeting new people, and the fact that I get to do all of that while playing a sport and people consider that my job, I'm pretty lucky.
Who's your favourite player and why, past or present, let's say?
I'd have to say my favorite player is probably Lindsay Davenport, but that's very biased simply because of a personal relationship, and she's been my coach, and now she's just a friend and mentor and someone that I can go to for anything, and very, very lucky to have her in my life.
In your dreams, what player are you beating, or maybe what player do you enjoy lining up against the most?
I don't think I've ever dreamed of tennis. I have enough of tennis in the daytime when my eyes are open. I don't think I want to start thinking about tennis in my sleep as well.
Good answer. What do you like doing when you're not playing tennis?
When I'm not playing tennis, I have developed an obsession with trying to nail latte art. I've drank a lot of coffee the past couple of months, simply just trying to really hone that in. Some days are better than others, but other than that, I really like interior design, so I like helping my friends buy furniture. I'm very good at spending other people's money, so those are probably my two hobbies.
What about a main goal for 2023? We're only a couple of days away now.
Well, we're still in 2022, so I think for me, 2023, my biggest goal is to really just build on everything that I did really well last year. I think I built a really great base to work off of, and I think at this point, everything starts at zero and it's a whole new year, so it's tons of opportunities. So just learning from the things that I did well last year and the things that I can improve on and try to do even better this year.
And moving back to Melbourne then, just tell me about your very first Australian Open experience. What do you remember from that?
My very first Australian Open, I believe I played, I forget who I played, but she's from China, and it was the first time I had ever played, in like a big tournament, a Chinese woman, and she had the entire crowd for her. And I just remember thinking, I've never had this many people cheering against me ever in my life on some back court. But it was amazing, and it's something I'll always remember.
And what about your favourite or most memorable Australian Open experience?
I would have to say I think my most memorable Australian Open was the year that I made semifinals for the first time. I was not expecting it. It was a lot of really great late matches, and then I got to play Venus and Serena back to back, and it was truly, I mean, the best that I've ever done in any sort of slam. So it's definitely a very special memory for me.
Okay, just the last couple now. We're going to try and get inside your head a little bit on the court. So this is a scenario.
That's
On
terrifying.
court, you've just lost a break and you're in the sit down. What are you telling yourself?
I don't think I can say that on camera. Yeah, they're not very nice words typically.
But how do you motivate yourself back to get back positive in that sort of situation?
I think in that situation, it's just trying to quickly reset and try to figure out how to break back as quickly as possible and try to get back to even footing. I think you never really want to feel like you're behind in a set, especially as it gets later. So I think when you get broken after maybe some bad words, your next thought is, okay, every single point I have to get into this return game and see if I can break back.
And then in a more positive vein, you're in the sit down and you're leading and a game away from victory. What are you telling yourself in that sort of situation?
I think in that situation, you're definitely thinking more about just point by point, not getting ahead of yourself, trying to stay in the moment and not think about the bigger picture, really just focusing on what you need to do that first point.
Perfect. And then very last couple of lines down the lens.
Okay.
If you just repeat after me. So when you're happy, Dan. Almost done.
Yep, I'm happy.
If you just do a welcome to the United Cup.
Welcome to the United Cup.
We are playing for points.
We are playing for points.
We are playing for country.
We are playing for country.
Women and men on the same team.
Women and men on the same team.
Perfect. And then we're just doing a very generic sort of thank you messages for all the volunteers, ball kits, that sort of thing. But keep it kind of generic. Just say thank you so much for all the volunteers. Without you guys, these sort of tournaments wouldn't be possible in your own words. And that's the last thing.
Thank you, all volunteers. Without you, this tournament would not be possible. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for all of your hard work and hospitality and daily smiles.
Thank you very much.